We are born and we die. We download and we re-upload. The universe is like a computer. Earth is part of this computer. Earth is part of some kind of computer drive. All organisms on Earth are electromagnetic information in this drive, or on this drive. The sun is a write head, a computer write head. DNA mutates in the UV rays, and DNA is structurally identical to computer code in so much that both are binary code. The light and magnetism produced by the sun interact with the organisms on Earth in the same way that a computer hard drive would. The solar system is some kind of computer system / hard drive. The sun would be the central component of this drive. Same thing could be said for the local group of galaxies, or any other galactic cluster for that matter, which are mirror images of computer networks. The galaxies, the solar systems, are organized like computer networks. The universe is organized like the internet. The universe is organized more or less like a centralized network. The center of the universe is some kind of supercomputer or supercomputer core, so it would seem. It seems there is some kind of black hole at the center of the universe. Black holes are said to turn, some of them at over 1 million miles an hour. Black holes are made largely of metals. Black holes are also said to exist at the center of the galaxies. The cores of the Earth and the Sun and the other planets also appear to be mirror images of computer cores. So essentially the cores of the galaxies, the planets, the living moons, are mirror images of computer cores. These cores are instrumental in producing electromagnetic fields. We have a system of cores in orbit around cores in orbit around cores. These cores are largely made of iron, nickel, magnesium, zinc, and basically all other heavy metals. The movement, the churning and turning movements of these cores are instrumental in producing electromagnetic fields. These electromagnetic fields, I believe, store information. So basically we have these orbs. Brains are part of these orbs. Brains are basically computers. At the center of our brain is the equivalent of a processor unit. I think the optical cortex is part of the center of the human brain, but the brain produces its own unique electromagnetic field. The system of cores, each of these cores of largely ore, produce electromagnetic fields. All planets, living moons, suns, galaxies have cores. Everything that matters in the universe has some kind of core. This includes the cores of brain neurons. The universe is also organized like the human brain. It is also internally structured like the human brain at all levels. Apparently, this organization is one of the most efficient ways to to store and process information for the engineers of the technoverse. But I am not going to elaborate on how the universe is structured like the human brain, except to say that we have something akin to a system of electromagnetic fields inside electromagnetic fields, brains inside brains inside brains. This system of electromagnetic fields leads me to digress here a little bit and focus on the electromagnetic field produced by the human brain in the human body. These electromagnetic fields are the equivalent of radio frequency identification tags. The human brain would serve as the chip for the human RFID tag. The core of the Earth would serve as the computer chip for the Earth component of the RFID system. And the same thing could be said for the galaxies. The Milky Way galaxy is a gigantic radio frequency identification tag. Radio frequency identification tags are also essentially antennas. The galaxies are antennas. The internal and external, visible and invisible dynamics of the galaxies make them antennas. This is a special antenna you might want to pause on. The same thing could be said for the antenna system of our solar system. These multi-feed, multi-channel antennas have recently been developed. The system of electromagnetic fields inside electromagnetic fields is a mirror image of a radio source relay destination diagram. Electromagnetic fields inside electromagnetic fields. This includes the galaxies, the suns, the planets, the organisms on the planets. These electromagnetic fields are basically antenna fields, RFID fields, dipole electromagnetic fields. The electromagnetic fields produced by the human body are produced by chemical reactions inside the human body. And as already noted, the electromagnetic fields produced by the planets and the galaxies and suns and so forth are produced by their cores, by the turning and churning movement of their cores, which is a mirror image of a dynamo that generates electromagnetic currents. Earth's core is a dynamo. The core of the sun is a dynamo. The core of the galaxy is a dynamo, and they all produce electromagnetic fields. And as already noted, these cores are in orbit around cores and orbit around cores. And these cores are also serving the role as computer cores, or central processing units, I believe. The electromagnetic fields produced by the core of the Earth resonate with the electromagnetic fields produced by the human body. The core of the Earth is probably picking up information on the organisms on the Earth. Not only are the cores of the planets and the suns and so forth mirror images of computer cores, but they are also mirror images of sensor nodes, radio transceiver nodes, radar magnetron nodes, including spherical antennas. The cores of the Earth, the living planets and moons, are mirror images of spherical antennas, spherical sensors, cathodes. This includes a radar magnetron cathode. The cores play multiple roles. The planets, the suns, the galaxies are a fusion of computer technology, sensor technology, antenna technology, and other technologies that the human race has just developed within the last 50 to 100 years. The planets are technology, the suns are technology, the galaxies are technology. I am probably overkilling it on some of these images, but I want to make my point. This is one of a dozen or so videos that I've put out there on the internet, by the way. But the system of cores produces a system of electromagnetic fields. The human race is being scanned and analyzed upside down and inside out and backwards from all different directions. I hope this video convinces you that the universe is actually a technoverse. The universe is a gigantic wireless computer, sensor, telecommunications, data mining, and fusion grid. This technoverse could also be considered some kind of computational biology and bioinformatics grid. The technological nature of the universe is largely disguised, camouflaged, and cloaked behind and beneath the forces of evolution and natural selection, and quadrillions of megatons of fire and ice and rock and dust and dirt and water and the rest of the natural elements. Humans are technology. Earth is technology. The galaxy is technology. Radio frequency identification technology, antenna technology, sensor technology, and largely bioimaging technology and computer technology. The electromagnetic fields produced by the galaxy is pulsating through the organisms throughout the galaxy and probably picking up information and relaying this information to the engineers of the technoverse. Even the non-spiral galaxies are mirror images of technology, but I have not included any examples here. Most of these sensor images, antenna images, and the rest of these images were downloaded from the internet. And if you get on the internet and start comparing some of the key words that you will encounter in this video with astrophysical and geological phenomena of the galaxies, the planets, and so forth, you will start to see the light. But the universe, I believe, is a machine for producing life forms and for analyzing and scanning these life forms in behalf of the engineers of the technoverse. Any way you analyze the galaxies, you will see technology, especially biosensor technology. The galaxies are a fusion of biosensor technology, sensor technology, computer technology, and other technologies. The same thing could be said about the planets and living moons, especially those with life forms. But the universe is a machine for producing machines, as well as for producing biological life forms, which are basically biological machines. We essentially have a technoverse that is a machine that produces machines, that produces machines, that produce machines. Just like the robots and computers that humans are producing are now starting to produce and program robots and computers. The galaxy is probably also a data mining grid that enables the universe, the engineers of the technoverse, to indirectly produce new technology. They're having other organisms in the universe do it. Just like the human race, we're using the same technologies to study the universe that the engineers of the universe are using to study and manipulate us, I believe. But the universe, the solar system, the planets are largely dedicated to bioimaging and computation. The electromagnetic ring structures that encircle the Earth are mirror images of radio transceiver rings and near mirror images of MRI rings, PET scan rings, and so forth. Any way you analyze and compare, you will see technology. The electromagnetic ring structure that encircles the Earth is not too much unlike the ring structure that encircles the Earth and its ring structure. The light produced by the sun and the stars that make up the zodiacal belt include the full spectrum of electromagnetic radiation. The zodiacal belt is a near mirror image of a PET scanner and other sensor equipment. The radiation from the stars that make up the zodiacal belt is passing through and bombarding all life on Earth, especially the super hard radiation. This is more or less a mirror image of some kind of quantum / photonic computer core. It seems that each and every individual on Earth is somewhere near the center of some kind of computer core fused with a integrated biosensor core. The electromagnetic radiation that bombards all life on Earth includes gamma radiation, X radiation, neutron radiation, and other forms of radiation used in sensor equipment and scanner equipment. It seems we have a system of sensors inside sensors inside sensors, computer networks inside computer networks inside computer networks, antennas inside antennas. It's uncanny how any way you analyze the dynamics and structure among and between the stars that you will see technology. Sensor technology, computer technology, scanner technology. technology inside of technology inside of technology. Every nook and cranny of the universe, if you look hard enough, you will see technology. The zodiacal belt is just another piece of technology, made of bits and pieces of technology. But the universe is probably microscopic in some kind of micro-optical electromechanical system, as well as some kind of spectroscope. The dynamics between the stars and planets that orbit the stars, along with the dynamics among and between the stars, that is, the electromagnetic dynamics, are mere images of spectrographic equipment. There are many kinds of spectrography out there, but the sun would be the primary light source. Some of the outer planets, especially those with luminous atmospheres and ring structures, would be the optical pickup diodes, or sensors. Optical sensor equipment and optical computer equipment have optical pickup diodes and sensors and transducers. The antenna structures would amount to some kind of antenna-coupled optical biosensing structure that would be common throughout the technoverse. The suns would play simultaneous roles as cathodes, light-emitting diodes, and so forth. The universe is some kind of optical communication, sensing, computing grid, as already noted, and the suns are a major component of this grid. The Earth is some kind of biosensor and computer unit. The sun writes DNA structurally identical to computer code, and DNA mutates in the UV rays. This is a biodisk drive. It's based on the same principle as computer drives. They use the same technology to store and retrieve information, and this would include biological information. Earth is a very complicated unit. Earth is an optical magnetic dielectric microsphere resonator spectroscope fused with computer technology, essentially. These spectroscopes produce their own electromagnetic field just like Earth. These spectroscopes are used by doctors and scientists to study organisms, cells, and other matter at the molecular, genetic, and atomic levels, respectively. The star systems are spectroscopes, essentially. The planets in relation to their suns are spectroscopes. We have spectroscopes inside spectroscopes. This network system is also a mere image of an optical and computing and sensing array that uses light. This includes some kind of optical quantum computing array that is just another component of the technoverse. Any way you analyze the universe, directly or abstractly, you can see technology, computer technology, sensor technology. And as already noted, this technology is dedicated to largely computational biology, bioinformatics, and other big words that I don't need to use, all of which are dedicated to the study of organisms, cells, and so forth at the molecular, genetic, and atomic levels. We are going to shift gears and analyze the Earth right beneath our feet. The layers of the Earth are mere images of the layers of sensor chips, computer disks, chips, and so forth. And not just the layers, the sequence of the layers are mere images of the sequence of the layers of computer chips and sensor chips. The electromagnetic fields produced by these chips are pulsating up and picking up information. In many cases, this is a mirror image of the electromagnetic field that pulsates up through the crust of the Earth, and it probably picks up information on the organisms on Earth and distributes this information to the engineers of the technoverse. It also needs to be noted that the forces of light and magnetism have been known by scientists to influence the behavior of organisms, including the forces of gravity. The solar system is a machine for producing the forces of gravity, light, and magnetism. The solar system, I believe, is some kind of behavior modification grid through which the engineers of the technoverse are using the forces of gravity, light, and magnetism to influence, if not control, the behavior of organisms. In my mind, that's not out of the question. It is significant that silicon makes up over 25% of the chemical composition of Earth's crust. Silicon probably makes up the same proportion of the chemical composition of the universe. Silicon is a primary ingredient in sensor equipment and computer equipment and other technology. Here are some key words before I wrap this, as I wrap this thing up. If you get on the internet and start digging using these keywords as guide words, especially in the image databases, then you will start to see the nature of the technoverse.